Okay, so if that first video was not enough to cause the long-time viewers among you heart attacks, this one surely will. So after I got the first Oreck commercial, but before I got the second one, I picked this up. So a little bit of backstory. When I was young, always wanted an Oreck XL21. I always wanted a regular Oreck, but when this came out and the commercials came out for these, I wanted one of these so bad. It is still, in my opinion, the best looking Oreck ever. Period, the end. And I just really like them. It kind of takes every little complaint and issue people had with the original Oreck design, especially collectors, and improved upon it. So, I mean, you got the wider air path, bigger fan, moves more air, everything like that, stiffer brush roll. And there's someone that's selling these new on eBay right now. Now, let me preface that new. The listing says new, and they are new machines. But they are new refurbished machines that were refurbished by Oreck. And this person apparently bought them in bulk. So I had seen them on. I was toying around with the idea for a while. And when I was so happy with this, being the classic Oreck design, and knowing how much better people had said that the 21 design was, I had to jump on it. They had a choice of colors, so I've always liked the titanium better. I picked that, the titanium or the white, depending on what you really want to call it. And I've been even more impressed. So I took a bit more blemished one to get a better deal on it, because really, for the most part, there was not much difference between this and the other refurbed units. This one looks like it had been a dealer's floor demo for a little while, so its brush roll was a little bit roughed up. The bottom plate is a little scratched, and the hood is too, just in a couple areas, but otherwise, I mean, it's the type of stuff, and I've caused some of this, if you can even see these blemishes. But it's all the kind of stuff that you don't notice unless you're looking close and you're actually looking for damage. So I didn't really care. The other thing that you'll notice is the rating plate sticker with the serial and everything like that is not on the back. I guess the adhesive didn't stick and they pulled it off, stapled it to the manual, so it's back in there with the manual. But I've been incredibly, incredibly impressed with this. It takes the carpet cleaning up pretty much to the performance level of the Tacony lightweight uprights. And that's saying a lot, because I think those are brilliant machines. Now, that being said, I do think the Tacony machines will still have a slight edge and outclean this on carpeting. But the amount that any average user would notice that is very slim. Add into the fact that, in my personal opinion, and from what I've seen, these are a far better constructed and more refined upright than the Tacony machines, and you've got an even better argument for the XL21 base. They're quieter sounding, they're better sounding than the Tacony machines, they're more pleasant to work with, in my opinion, and just, I kind of think they're a better machine, period, the end. So I've made a couple changes to this machine from when I got it, just like with that Oreck commercial. And I should add into this video, and I forgot to mention this, I also pulled the, I think Oreck calls it the sock guard. It's that little metal wire that runs across the base plate, because I think it gets in the way, and I don't need it. So the few modifications that I really did make to this is I got it a new brush roll, because, as I said, the one that was on it, it just seemed kind of soft and a little bit worn out. The other thing, and I'll put a part number to this in the bottom, and a YouTube link to the video that I'm talking about. So they made a change-up for the 21 series, the series that's right after those. So the Platinum Pilots and the Forever Gold, everything like that have the Enduro-Life system. Now they made 2 changes to those newer models. They put a synthetic belt in them, and on the newest of the new models, I guess you could say, they put in a hall sensor with that Enduro-Life belt. And the ones that say that they have an Enduro-Life belt will have the hall sensor. Those were the only ones advertised that way. So basically, the machine will shut itself off if anything gets jammed. But they didn't really change anything as far as the brush roll, the motor pulley, or anything like that goes. So you can take the Enduro-Life synthetic flat belt that they use on these, on the newer series of these, and what they still use on the Elevate, Command, and Conquer, and you can put it on. Now, it will burn through if you get it jammed on anything because there's no shutoff system, but you get the additional performance of having better torque to the brush and the fact that it doesn't stretch and wear out like the Oreck belts, rubber belts do. And really, that's kind of an issue with this, with how stiff the bristles are. That belt was just not designed to have that much resistance on it. It stretches out pretty easily. So I got that and put that on here. It is brilliant. It really helps performance a lot. It's even better than the new rubber belt. Like if you just put a brand new rubber belt on, this will still outperform it, especially on carpeting. And you don't have to worry about stretching or anything like that. You can even use it on non-Enduro-Life belt classics, but truly they don't really need it near as much. All you need to have, really, from what I've been able to tell, to use it in one of these is one of the brush rolls that has the plastic pulley ends. I don't think it will work with the metal, but I could be completely wrong. So I have the one with the plastic pulley in here that I ordered new, specifically for this purpose, and the synthetic belt in here. And I'll pull the part number of what I ordered and put it up in the description, so if anyone with this machine or anything like it is interested, they can take a look. So really the only drawback to this over the Classic series is because of those stiffer bristles, even with the lower speed, it doesn't perform as well on bare floors as the Classic Oreck does. So that's still my preference on bare floors. This performs, I would say it outperforms the Taconi uprights just slightly, but it's still not up to the Classic with those soft, bushy bristles. So I will plug this in and give it a run for you guys, as well as plug this in because I did not run it in the previous video, so you guys can hear what both of them sound like and, you know, compare as far as noise levels, performance, everything like that. So I will be right back with that for you. So we are back. What I'm going to do is I will start out with the Classic version, and we'll see how this sounds on both carpeting, and I'll move it onto the bare floors for you. So here we go. So pretty classic Oreck there. The other thing that I did want to bring up and mention that I forgot to in the first video on these is that I appreciate that Oreck has a way that you can actually use, be it scent tablets or anything like that, with a machine that actually has an odor eliminating filter on it. Because with most machines, if you toss in a carbon bag, be it a direct air machine or a machine that is bagged that has a separate carbon filter or charcoal filter to reduce odors, especially from pets, you can't really use any kind of fragrance or scent in the machine. Main reason being the carbon or charcoal layer will just absorb that, and it'll actually reduce the lifespan of it. Now, that works great in theory on some machines. However, and my Milas are a great example of this, the active air clean filter doesn't really cover those odors all that well. The S7 cat and dog that I have suffers from that. You always have at least a minute or two of operation where the machine just reeks when you first turn it on. These, not only have I not experienced any smell at all so far with the charcoal bags in them, but so you're not just putting out an odor of nothingness or vacuum motor, you still have the little Oreck pouches sewn into the bag. It's on this one, it's on this one as well, and from what I can see, you've actually got two options on this one. So you've got the scent pocket here. You can also put a little square tab into the motor filter that they have down here, and the new ones still have that. So I just wanted to take a second and say I really appreciate that, because I like to have some sort of fresh scent, and I like those scent tablet things. I always have, personally. So I like being able to use them with an odor eliminating bag. And now back on the main point, here is the XL21. The only really other upgrade that I'm waiting on is I have LED bulbs in the mail, and at that point, pretty much this will be a forever gold machine, which they're still producing, because that's basically the only difference, is the color, some cosmetic differences, the warranty obviously, the belt, and the lights. That's basically it. So, as I think just about anyone could tell, the XL21 really is brilliant in comparison. It's not as loud, it's not as shrill of a pitch. The brush roll grooms excellently and kind of drags the machine forward. If you have one of these, the synthetic belt is expensive. It was over $8, I think, as a dealer, paying dealer pricing for us to order in. And I want to say they're like at least $15 from what I've seen online. But it is a synthetic belt that will last a while. So I can't recommend it highly enough.